of my face is red, with breasts, with a shoulder of a friend, with a corner of a desk, with communion, with a yes, and I tell you.
Welcome back to Pretty Much Experts. I'm Robert John, live in Toronto, Canada. Skyler opening us up with that bong rip. How you doing there, brother?
Well, fucking living a dream there, buddy.
And Mike chuckling away, Vancouver, Canada, other side of the world, living in a van. How you doing, brother?
Good, you cucks.
I saw that. You just flashed a little Pure Relief.
Pure Leaf, baby.
Man, I fuck with that Pure
I
Relief.
meant to get the peach.
Peach
but
is
I
the
ended
one
up
to
walking
get.
Out with this,
Yeah.
I ended up walking out with this cuck shit, this unsweetened cuck shit. I grabbed the wrong one.
By walked out, you mean you stole it?
No, I paid $2.77. It was on sale.
Yeah, I was gonna say I fuck with the peach one. I've never had that cut green before.
No, me either. The peach is the best. Also, perfect dick size too.
Yeah, you can piss right in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your whole fucking
Squeeze your head right in there in the middle of the night. You don't have to worry about any lips or
Yeah.
ridges.
When I lived in that soy bomb, the punk flat, whatever the fuck, I bought a lot of drinks based on whether or not I could fit my dick in it at the end of the
Put your
night.
wiener in there.
Yeah. The bathroom was
Yeah, you
always
never
full.
really grow out of that.
No.
Yeah, it's like kind of like how like I'm a skateboarder, so everything I see is like, oh, that's kind of a spot. Like you can kind of get on that. You can get on that. I go to that grocery store and just think like, can I fit my dick in there? Could this
It's
also be a toilet?
Buy a jug of juice unless I can get the head in.
It's
You know?
super dark, but it's totally like you ever hear those stories of like when people's like grandparents who like survived the Holocaust came over to the New World and like they would buy houses and they would like make sure that the houses had
Had a
basements or like an attic because like they use them to hide during the war. So it's like our house needs these even though we might never need it. You go into a grocery store looking at fucking jug like in worst
Like,
case
I might
scenario.
not have to piss in this, but I also might.
Yeah, I might have to have it. It's just like
Oh.
subconsciously you just grab it by like the neck and it's like, no, it's too narrow.
There's just kind of something, I guess it's like ingrained in me from my youth. There's just something kind of nice about pissing in a bottle and then throwing it at something. You know, like I kind of like doing that.
Oh yeah. I remember one time we went to a fucking my roommate, her parents had a trailer in like Grand Valley.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't the biggest fan of the trailer. I had like my parents have a
So like
cottage.
a getaway? Like, oh yeah, okay.
Right,
It's
like
a summer getaway.
Yeah, like a
trailer.
summer getaway. It was nice. It was right on the Grand River, right? Like backyard was the Grand River. It was
Wait,
cool. But
like
it was-
in Cambridge?
No, north of like Orangeville, Grand Valley.
Oh, yeah, okay, but it's
Oh, yeah.
I guess the
Yeah, I
same
know.
river.
It's the same river, the Grand
Right.
River. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But so whatever, it was nice. But one day we were sitting there eating dinner and like they were talking about how cool like the trailer park was. They put on all these kinds of different events.
I thought when you were in a trailer park they called it supper.
I only went there for supper, I guess. But I made the joke of just like trailer parks are nice except for all the kids throwing piss bottles around.
Right.
And, like nobody fucking understood what I was talking about, and it was like, okay, never mind. Like clearly don't have those here.
Yeah, bottle kids.
Bottle kids, right? Yeah. Oh fuck.
No, a little too upscale. This is the trailer park that you're referring to is a year-round 365. This is our
That's true.
lifestyle trailer park. Right?
Yeah. No place else to go. Trailer park.
No. And AKA the one of those apartment buildings downtown, Silver Creek Towers.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So like that's like Georgetown's trailer park right there.
Oh yeah, it's a stacked trailer. That's half
Dude,
junk ladder.
I lived there for a minute of my childhood that I barely remember, but I quite often frequented it all through my teenage years, and that place is skeezy.
You know what though? Like I think I've been in there once or twice. Okay. So I'm
The
like
Apartment-
apartments
there a
aren't
lot.
bad.
the apartments are nice. They're actually
No.
really big.
They are
Yeah.
big, yeah.
Yeah, because they were built in like the 60s or 70s or whatever, right?
Yeah, back when nobody gave a fuck. It's like give somebody a backyard in this thing, basically.
Well, they weren't so concerned about conserving space as they weren't as much, even though it is an apartment and that's the idea of the whole building. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like now, it's like they'll fucking sell you a shoebox for
slumlord, yeah, 1,000 square feet.
Oh, you want to sleep underneath the stairs? It's $900 a month.
Easy.
You know, it's like what?
Yeah, that is a different approach. Like apartments used to be like this could be a home. Like you could have kids, raise a family. Because I've been in that tower a lot. My like old tattoo artist used to be there, and it was like a 3-bedroom, like big. It was like the size of the house that me and Skyler grew up in. It was like a 3-bedroom house, just like the 12th floor or whatever. And it's like one of the rooms was his business. And it was really nice. But yeah, like there's no apartments like that anymore, unless you want to be a billionaire and buy what do they call them now?
Penthouse.
Condos. But even condos, like I feel like
there's not even apartment buildings anymore. They're condos.
Yeah, there's like a floor or two of nice condos, and the rest are all shoeboxes.
Yeah, but like, isn't it just like such a fucking bougie thing to say? Like, it's like when fucking Americans call themselves when they go abroad, they're expats. Like they're not.
Yeah.
They're not immigrants or anything. You know what I mean? I'm an expat. Like, no, you're not. You're a fucking immigrant. You left. You emigrated to. Or you emigrated, you know what I mean? Whatever the grade is.
Yeah. When I was in Dublin last year, like, had a few, like, good old boy American friends, and they all just, like, hung out with the expat. Like, oh, there's an expat meet here, expat meet, drinking this. And I was just so confused. It's like, the last thing I wanted to do was move to Dublin and just find a group of Canadians to hang out with and just meet up with them every weekend. It's like, by chance, playing on that baseball team, I did have, like, 2 Canadian buds. But it was just by nature of like fluke. We didn't like look up other fucking ex-Canuck group. Like, no, we just made friends with Irish people, dated Irish girls. Like that's the whole point of doing that kind of thing.
What you do, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much like a resort mentality, where it's like I want to go to this country to see it because it looks cool, but I also don't want to like share a pool with like the locals,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still believe in segregation when I'm on vacation.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know?
Yeah, I want to have a good time.
Yeah.
I don't bring that shit home with me. That's vacation. My racism and segregation shit's a vacation. You know?
Yeah. That starts at the border. When I come back, I'm woke.
It's funny to think about like going into someone else's country and being a racist. It's like, what are you doing here, though? You know, like
it's a thing, though. It's so fucked. When I was like back in the old days, like having that Mexican roommate, and we'd go down to Mexico like every December to like see her family and shit. And her dad was like a real estate guy. That's what he did. Like, he sold condos to the rich that are there on vacation, kind of swoop them up on their way back to the airport. Like, you don't have to go home yet, buy a house. But that was his job, you know. Whatever, he made good money.
Sounds ethical.
It works. You're leaving your vacation, and it's like, hey, you don't even have to buy a whole condo. You can get a timeshare. You can do this every fucking 6 months if you want.
And it's crazy
and people
how
are
easy
like,
it is to get into certain parts of Mexico, like from the States, like from San Diego or whatever. Like apparently it's just like right there. It's an hour drive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, San Diego is super close. Yeah, it's like right on the border.
But anyway, like sometimes we'd have to meet his clients, like, and he'd pick them up at their big ass resorts, and I'm just in the like car waiting and whatever, and just like, well, how's the resort? And like, oh, the food's not good. Like they got this, they got that. Like, we had like a French dish and I'm just so confused. I'm like, why the fuck are you coming all the way to Mexico on vacation, staying in resort, and then complaining that the resort food like isn't that good? It's like, dude, like this is like, I don't know. There's like tacos are 30 cents everywhere you go, and they're so fucking good. Yeah. But like, you're not even leaving your resort to eat. Like that just blows my mind.
Yeah, and you're complaining about the creme brulee.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the croissants were stale. And it's like, what?
Yeah. My baguette is too stale.
My baguette was really stale.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I think about, like, an all-inclusive vacation with, like, a bunch of buds would be really fun, just to not care.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to really go somewhere that is like a Mexico that has a very, like, specific culture Like I'd go to like Dominican Republic or something, you know, like one of those countries.
Somewhere with no culture.
Yeah, I'd go somewhere
Yeah.
with no culture. Yeah, Puerto Rico, like you know, like somewhere just cheap and never leave the pool and have like my martini never empty. Like that would be a
Yeah.
fun trip. But I'm not gonna go to like, I don't know, anywhere else that has culture.
I know what you're saying. I
I
almost
don't want to
feel
go
like
on vacation at all, period.
Mm.
Like, really, I don't. Unless it's like to see a show or see friends. I don't care to go on vacation.
Yeah,
The tropical vacation thing, it's like, I could see myself getting older and just wanting to do that,
right.
you
Yeah.
know?
walk
So I don't
around
have
with
any,
your
I don't
burritos.
care where it is. You want to take me to Mexico? I'll complain about the fucking baguettes while I'm there. You know? I'll fit right in.
See, I've never done an all-inclusive, and I'm into it. I would do
know.
it. I would do it just because I've never done it, and it's like I like the idea of just like
Do it with your friends, though. Don't just go with your wife.
No.
fuck no.
You know,
you
Unless
gotta
it
do
was
it.
like hedonism too or something. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, if
Wife,
it's going to
you
be
know?
an orgy,
Yeah.
don't even bring the wife. You know?
Yeah, or like be like bring a friend, you know.
Bring a friend.
But
Totally.
I like the idea of just like here is my like $1,300, and I'm just gonna drink everything I want and eat everything I want.
Yeah,
And the sun, like not even necessarily by a pool, maybe the beach, maybe
Yeah,
just
I
in
get
my
liking that
room.
idea.
I like
I
the
don't
idea, like,
want to do that, but I get.
you
I
would
eventually I
go.
will. You know, like I would go exactly.
Yeah,
Eventually I would, and if like
yeah.
20 of us were going,
That's
of course it's gonna be a great
yeah.
time.
That's the only time I would do it.
And like I don't know, I feel like I like the idea of going and doing things, but also I also like that it's not like a mandatory thing. Like if I
Right.
want to go look at like I remember when we went to Mexico and we didn't do an all inclusive. We stayed right in fucking like Tulum and like an Airbnb. And it was one of those, you know, like okay, we're going to go look at the pyramids on this day, and then on this day we're gonna go to the beach. And then it's like when the day of the pyramids came, like we were both so fucking hungover
Yeah,
that it's just like I don't even
Audible.
want to go do
Yeah.
this. Like, I don't give
Why
a
don't we
fuck.
do it?
Yeah, and it was like blistering hot out. And RJ, I think you were there, where it's like there's not a fucking tree in sight. Like,
No.
you're in the middle of a jungle.
Can't get any shade.
But-
Yeah.
but
I
that
don't know.
it's like a beachy plateau.
And like I don't know, apparently the Mayans invented lawnmowers because they would fucking like like perfectly flat and manicured lawns,
Yeah,
right? And it's just like, but again, not a tree in sight. Like
Yeah.
it was fucked. Like
no.
I remember we like
draft behind a fatty to get some shade.
yeah, like get in, like you can't touch the pyramids or anything, but you just like crouch in a ball beside it. and
Well, I
get in
mean, by nature
shadow.
of pyramid, there's like very little shadow anyway. It's not like there's a nice little cool overhang to like get out of the sun.
No, not at all, right?
On
And
that
then-
pyramid.
We fucking bought, or like we made all these sandwiches, and we are gonna have like a nice beach picnic while we were there. And then we got there, and there was like a beach, but it wasn't a beach. It was just rocks with like giant waves
Yeah,
like
I
crashing
was
in.
there. You had to go down a whole bunch of stairs too.
Yeah,
Like it
so,
wasn't
like,
very
wait a-
accessible.
Yeah, oh, it was a good time, but it was just like scarf these like to say we did it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's that like not even to say we took pictures like Instagram moment, but it was just like no, we made sandwiches to eat on the beach. That's
Yeah.
where we're eating.
I mean, the water's still refreshing, even though you're not really getting a good swim in. It's just about like getting out of the heat.
Yeah, and I had lost my thumb like 3
Yeah.
weeks before that, so that was also really fun. So like, I totally forgot about that.
The worst place to go with an open wound is Mexico, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I've told you guys.
If any bit of the local water touches that thumb,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
gonna have to chop off the hand.
Like the best part of the day, the best part of the trip, honestly, like it was like I'd say like a month after my thumb got fucking horribly mangled. Not horribly, I lost the end of it, no big deal.
Yeah, it
And
looks
then-
fine.
No, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. It looked like if a butthole kind of grew, like it just kind of fused up.
Yeah. It kind of
You know?
like when you cut the baby's umbilical cord and it has a little fucking gross pigtail for like a month.
Coming out of its gut, it did
Yeah.
kind of
It's fucking brown and
Looked like a
falls off.
weird,
it falls off and you
like
find
a
it.
weird Looking, yeah.
But
It was weird,
no,
dude.
the very first day that we got there, and like I was super cautious, like I had it all bandaged up, whatever. And we got to our Airbnb, and like the fella that was like watching the place, the little fella, was like, he was just like, "What'd you do to your thumb?"
Do his
And I-
voice.
No, he's like, "Hey, say what you do to your thumb, man. Say." And
Oh,
I fucking,
Holmes.
no, and I told him, like, I kind of got stuck in like a big chain at work, and then he fucking like throws his hand up,
Yeah.
and yeah, and like he had lopped
Third
off,
world, dude.
he had lopped off more of his finger was gone than my thumb.
Yeah.
And he was
His
like,
finger was shorter than your thumb.
yeah, yeah, it was a competition at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Then I
but
whipped
so-
out my dick.
Yeah, and then but he said the same thing. Like he got his stuck in a fucking chain, but it was a motorcycle chain. He was like cleaning his motorcycle while it was running, apparently, and it fucking his finger got cut and ripped it off.
You guys
But it-
totally should have whipped out your dicks and
Yeah.
saw who had more foreskin. More or less foreskin.
But he then proceeded to tell me that because in Mexico, because they didn't have like clean water ever, every time he had to clean it, he had to use like rubbing alcohol, and it was like he's like I almost like the first night it happened, I almost fucking passed out,
That would hurt so much.
and I remember
Never
just
heal
like
either.
I was
It's
so-
all the bacteria that you need.
oh, and I was just so stoked though, like I was like I was looking at his the finger. And it was looking really good, and it was just like, man, like mine looks so much better than yours, and like I didn't have to clean it and rubbing alcohol once.
Right.
Like, yeah, I'm a little bitch. I'm going swimming tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm getting dysentery, bitch.
yeah, motherfucker, let's party.
When I was there, maybe the first time with this particular roommate, we went to like the little fucking middle of nowhere town that her dad was from and grew up. And this is like a town of like maybe 100 people. Very similar to
Voice,
Zihuatanejo.
RJ, do the voice.
We need to have representation on the show.
Yeah.
So we go to this little fucking town. You can only get there by boat. Like it's on the ocean. We had to go by boat. Like it's not even an
They
island.
have
It's just like
donkeys?
there was no donkeys. There,
Yeah,
people
with
had
the
like
boat,
four wheelers, but it's like I don't know how they got them there.
wow, no
like they brought
donkeys, but
their
got
four wheelers on the boat.
Wow.
like,
Bro,
I
it's
guess.
fucking like 2015 we're talking.
Yeah, this is like 2015.
That's
This is in the
right.
70s. But like it's not even like it's an island. It's just like so deep, like up coast in the jungle. There's
that's
no
easier
road.
to go by
It's
boat.
easier to go by boat. There's no real road
Oh,
that goes
okay.
there. So we're there like for like a week or two, and every morning like this guy has to like they do like I think it's called parasailing where you like wear the parachute and the boat drives you away and you just go up in the air and look around. I think that's what that's called.
I think.
I
I
think
don't
so.
know. Yeah.
So that's like the
Up there.
tourist thing to do. Like people go there to go parasailing in the bay. So every morning, like the parasailer guy, like gets a volunteer to like make sure the lines work, and you get to like go up and just like test to see if it works. And all week, I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like I'm not testing, you know. Like fuck that. Like that's insane. And then like the lady friend's dad's like, no, this guy's literally like done this since 1975. I've known him my whole life. When I was a baby, like I was a parasail test pilot. Like it was always me, and when I was in high school, like I drove the boat, and it's like so cool to come back for him like 30 years later, and that guy's like an old man now still driving the boat. And it's like, okay, fine. So I went up, it was cute.
No, I don't.
Yeah, and I was
30
like,
years. I mean, once you cross a certain age, that 30 years goes down the drain.
Yeah, you
It's
lose
not
it
even
every
30
1
years.
year.
Okay.
You lose 5 years, right?
so this
like,
is the story where it gets juicy. So like after I'm safe and I get down, I'm like, okay, so now that I did it and it was fine, tell me the actual horror stories, because I know that they're horror stories, but you just didn't want to
sure.
say them because I'm a puss.
Someone got caught in a propeller.
Exactly.
Like,
Oh, that happened.
Really?
So he's like,
Oh
he
my
does like a
God.
lap around the bay, like this old man. Guess he was younger in the 70s, and he ran over someone swimming, like in the boat. Like someone, I guess, was like snorkeling and down, and then came up and like right on the boat ran this guy over, cut his legs off at the knees, and they had to like drag him in like a shark victim, and it's just like the scariest thing. And like this
rubbing alcohol.
this girl's dad is like, it was like you know, Jaws, like the ocean was red, we dragged him up on the sand, and like you could see blood in the sand for months, like there was so much blood, but like he's alive. I'm like, what happened to him? And he's like, I don't know, like they like took him off to the hospital, and we'd like get updates every now and then you know, I kind of moved on with my life. I moved away.
He haunts this here pier.
his
Yeah,
legs
I
do it.
imagine they just dumped him in rubbing alcohol, but then
Yeah, just drowned him in rubbing alcohol.
Yeah. Oh my god.
not
Yeah.
even fucking 3 days later, we take the boat back to mainland, and we're gonna have like another week or two like in Puerto Vallarta, and we see a fucking little guy on a cart begging, and I'm joking. I'm like, "Hey, yo, Alex, is that the dude?" And he looks over and he spits his drink out. He's like, "That is the guy." Like, I'm fucking full kidding. I'm like, "Oh yeah, there's your buddy with no legs." And he looks over and he legit like spit takes. He's like, "That," and he went over and talked to him and gave him like $300.
Wow.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wait, 300 pesos?
No, like 300. Like he was like,
Dude, that's like 30 million pesos.
but that's
Yeah,
I mean for a beggar with no
How can he
legs.
carry that?
But again, like
He's
He's
got
got
no
no leg.
leg.
this girl's dad was like a good guy. Like he had money, and it's
Yeah.
like that
No,
guy's
that's really
been
nice.
living on the streets in a fucking wagon since 1978.
Fill your wagon with pesos,
Yeah.
buddy.
And no fucking like
crazy.
repercussions or nothing.
No, there's no licenses. There's no boating license. It's fucking Mexico.
I'm talking about just like you ran the guy over. Like, isn't that like you know?
Oh, no.
In the 70s?
No. Even
No,
now.
but yeah,
You could do that right now, 2020. You could run someone over in a boat in Mexico, and you'd be fine. As long as you weren't white, you'd be fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
even
Just get to rubbing alcohol.
I don't think they have the same like liability laws. Like, there's nothing like you can't sue someone in
No.
Mexico for like falling off your
There's not
fence.
even that now. Never mind 50
Yeah.
fucking years
Yeah.
ago.
I
It
don't
was
think
legit
there's
the
a-
Wild West.
I don't think there's a Spanish word for liability.
No, everything.
Definitely isn't one in Mexican.
That same Mexican girl used to joke and say there was no Spanish word for permission, only forgiveness.
Wow.
Is that why they're all murderers and rapists?
I don't know, but it was a pretty funny saying.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like that. Like it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to beg for permission or something.
Whatever.
Yep.
Yeah,
She's
there's,
saying there's not even a word for
there's
it.
not even a word for permission. I just do what I want.
That's fair. Let's see, and that's unfortunately is what like, you know, I talk to one Mexican person, they say these things, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's Mexico. Next,
Yeah.
next country. What's Germany like?
I think it's the opposite. Like, it sounds like it mostly sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'd ever go to Germany.
I was there for 2 days, and I don't remember it being anything special.
Do they have any like?
I don't
Nazi
feel like I
statues?
need
No.
to do that shit. They got chocolate, don't they? Isn't that a cool thing they got?
I don't know. I think that's
Beer?
Swiss.
Chocolate beer?
Isn't that Belgium?
I don't know.
Isn't
Isn't Belgium Germany? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Berlin is Germany.
Germany
I thought
had like a
They
lot
both
of.
got that weird like lion thing.
I thought Belgium was a country.
Yellow and
Let's look
red.
it up.
Belgium is
Yeah,
definitely
I
a
think
country.
it is. But I think it maybe is like part of old Germany. That's a thing. Welcome to geography with pretty much X.
You know, like, I'm not gonna say you're wrong though, because I feel like after
I feel
World War
like
One,
it
they
is.
divided a bunch of stuff.
Well, wasn't Germany called something else? Deutschland?
I think that's
Yeah,
how they say it in
Yeah.
German.
But I think it was, and it was like an amalgamation of all these countries, and then they separated, right? So go
Yeah.
fuck yourself.
I,
guy.
I'm saying I don't think you're wrong.
Well, I don't. think
Belgium
you're
is
straight.
definitely there in World War II, though. I just mean pre-World War One. I don't know if Belgium was a thing. Amsterdam, all that shit, like that might have all been Germany.
But I think that's the land of, like, you know, I said land of milk and honey. It's the land of chocolate and beer.
Chocolate
Over
and beer.
Yeah.
Belgium.
Well,
Let's see.
we can all agree that nothing good ever came from there.
Except for chocolate and beer. Yeah.
Does it say how
You're
old
right.
Belgium? When did Belgium
There's
start?
no possible way that chocolate
Um,
actually grows there either. Like, there'd be-
Recognized. It was recognized as a country in April 1839.
Oh wow, not even close.
No.
older than Canada.
Older than
You know?
Canada.
Just about as old.
It looks like though it's like in between.
It's like right on the
It's in
coast.
between. It's right in between. It's on the coast, but it's
Yeah.
in between France and Germany. I think that's
Mhm.
why it gets such a bad rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was like, yeah, Germany. Take me
They're
now.
Holocaust deniers, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
A whole lot of them.
The whole fucking lot of them.
I'm gonna just assume they were neutral during the war too.
That's a safe stance for
That's a
2020.
yeah,
Sure,
they're
I'm
probably
saying they're
fucking
Holocaust
nukes.
deniers. I'm saying they're full-blown Nazis. That's what I'm saying.
Speaking of Nazis, I guess we should acknowledge that Donald Trump lost his fucking re-election.
Oh yeah,
Literally. I mean, to the world it is. I don't think it is from his mouth, but
One of my favorite parts of this election was Skyler giving us day-to-day updates in a group chat, as if me or Mike give a fuck at all.
I wanted him to win. I did. I wanted Trump to win just to see the whole.
I'm with you. Like I like a good watch the world burn, but he is such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But that being said, like I think this is the best of both worlds, Mike. Like where things will kind of go back to normal, but like he's not going out over the next 2 months without kicking and screaming and.
Oh, he's gonna burn the White House.
He's gonna piss on every wall. Like it's gonna be good content.
Yeah, it's gonna.
I don't have Twitter, but I'm thinking of maybe getting Twitter so that I can follow Donald Trump.
Oh, even just the shit today with his press conference, like that was so fucking funny.
Which one was it today at the Four Seasons?
The Four Seasons, yeah. So Mike, he fucking announced to the world that he's gonna have a big meeting today at the Four Seasons, but his staff didn't book the Four Seasons hotel. They booked the Four Seasons lawn and maintenance, which is between a crematorium and a sex shop, like some industrial fucking
It was
building.
just like some back
It's like some
fucking
lawnmower
parking lot,
store.
dude.
It's so
So
fucking.
now that he's not president, they just kind of left him to his own devices.
I
But
don't
it's
even
like
know
I
what
don't know
that
why
was
they
about,
just
like-
canceled it and just moved it, but they just stuck with it, and it's like for real. Like after all this, like his presidency ends with him doing a press conference in front
Set
of a
up by
sex
the
store.
dumpsters.
Yeah, it's literally those are the photos. Him up behind some dumpster, with a podium. Fucking Four
It's
Seasons
like-
lawn
Let's
maintenance.
get this dumpster out here so we can put the presidential podium on.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? Those dumpsters are actually in the best place. Like, can we move the dumpsters and put the president there? Oh fuck! But I don't know. Yeah, I was giving you guys the updates, but I think it's funny when I give you guys updates and I know you don't give a shit. Like my own.
I mean, I don't hear about it or see it anyways. Like I do kind of in conversation and in passing. I'll hear
I
about it.
also know, Mike. I also know that about you, so I kind of felt like I'm doing you.
I was keeping an ear on it. Right?
Yeah,
No?
but you know what I mean. It was just like I don't know. Like I feel like I heard about it at the as soon as it happened. It was like I don't know. It was funny waiting for Fox News to declare it happened. That's what that was my news outlet for the last week. Was I was just like I'm going to Fox News.
Yeah.
And Fox is pro-Trump, right?
They're pro-Trump, right? So it's like whatever they're saying, has to be true, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if they're reporting it, it's reluctant, doing
It's
it.
official.
Right? So, I was watching that, and then once CNN had announced that Biden had won, it was almost an hour and a half later before Fox News acknowledged that it had taken place.
So what
right?
did they say when they do have to finally say it? Did they oh, it's bullshit, or they're just oh, preliminaries say this? Because I didn't watch any of it, so I have no idea.
Well,
Do they
I don't-
own it, or is it still there's still lots of counting to go, but it does look like this?
I think the way basically it's done because there's not enough, not all the votes have been counted,
Yeah.
Well, there's not enough left.
but there's not enough left for Trump to take over Biden in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
right?
He
So
only
it's
needed to win one more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's winning by 50,000 and there's 45,000 votes left. He can't catch him, right? It's
Yeah.
it's like Dormy and fucking
Oh yeah.
Mario Golf.
Mario Golf rules. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's done. He hasn't conceded yet, though. That's
No,
the
he's
next,
not gonna.
that's the next thing, right?
He's never gonna.
No, he's gonna go down kicking and screaming, and
Yeah, he's gonna show up to the whatever the Biden swearing in ceremony. He's gonna have his fucking karate outfit on, fake black belt.
I mean-
he's going for it.
It's usually
showing
a
up.
thing that the former president is there to kind of like shake the hand and like
Yeah, I think
be
so.
seen
They
out.
sign
Like
him
that's
off,
part
but
of the
he's just-
ceremony.
He's gonna have
so
like a
it
Ninja
would-
Turtles bandana on. You know,
I mean,
like-
it also wouldn't be surprising for him
I
to
think
just
it's called a
not
white
go.
hood.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, wait, that's not a karate outfit? Wait a second. What?
it's my gi.
That's not a gi? What is that? It's just a gi with a hood? Like a hoodie?
Yeah.
But-
A gi. But it's funny actually. Like we were just watching fucking Saturday Night Live from last night.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle was on it, and it was really good. Like I don't know, like the opening monologue. His opening monologue was like 20 minutes, and it was just him doing like fucking stand-up stuff. It was really funny.
No, like
I saw the
Didn't
Bill Burr
he
one a
do
couple weeks ago.
the-
It was also good.
didn't Chappelle do the opening 4 years ago when Trump got in the first time?
I think that's what he said.
Yeah,
too.
I remember he was that like Saturday. It's like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
you know, like he like my job to make
Yeah.
everyone laugh kind of thing.
But
So that's
actually,
kind of cool.
he did touch on that, and it was what was funny. He made a joke, but I can't remember. But he did kind of say like, you know, you got to be humble because there's a lot of people like, you know, 4 years ago when I was here, y'all weren't this happy.
Yeah.
So like, remember that. Like, know that there's other people out there that are where you were 4 years ago. Like, you don't need to.
It's almost half. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
I
even
think-
like there's some people. It's like your neighbor on each side,
Yeah.
every
like, you know
other
what's-
house. Yeah.
This is like my like I don't know. I don't think it's jaded at all. It's just like a shitty opinion. But like my roommate would say things like sometimes like she just feels so bad. Like she has American friends, right? And it's like it's like, oh my god, I feel so bad for like Americans. Like, don't you just feel so bad for them? And
Yeah.
my stance for the longest time, RJ, I'm sure you've heard the rant of just like, no. I don't feel bad for them. Like they vote you. The great philosopher Homer Simpson once said, "You pick fruit, you live with fruit."
Yeah.
And you fucking voted that motherfucker in. Like, you wanted it, right?
Yeah.
And so this was like going into this, I said to her, it was just like, this is like going to be a defining moment for me where it's just like, do you actually want this man or do you not? Like, you know, like, and at the end of the night, it's like I still stand by what I say. And it's just like, they still fucking want him. Like,
A lot too. It was like 49% to 51. Like it's as close as it gets.
I would tell, like, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's like of the like 6 million people that voted, like Biden probably won by like 100,000 votes.
Yeah.
Like the last like 3-4 days that were fucking where it was like we don't know who won, we're still counting. It's like there were 4 states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Georgia, where it legit was like 49.8 to 49.8 or something for like a whole day. And it's just like it's like, oh, so you do fucking want this. Like,
Yeah.
it's a legit, like, if there was ever going to be a Civil War 2, it's going to be
Oh, yeah.
this shit.
It could be any day now.
And I do feel like that's what's kind of has my attention in all of this is this is like some history shit that's happening,
It
right?
has potential for sure.
Right? And like, exactly. And like, I'm actually surprised that there hasn't been more, I think they call it unrest. Like,
Yeah.
just complete.
More
And
public around that.
I think to be honest, I think if Trump won, there would have been unrest.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, there
you
would
know,
have been just fucking straight up karate outfits all through the street.
I think
Yeah.
You know, like
me and my buddy were talking the other night about this whole thing, and like I can criticize the left all I want because I see where they're fucked, but that doesn't make me on the right. You know?
No.
Like I have the
No.
ability to
No.
be like self-critical.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
in that way, I do feel like the left is a lot more protesty. Immediately, like everyone on Facebook and
they're
Twitter.
also soft little bitches.
That's what I
too.
mean. Like they're not going to actually
Yeah.
do anything. Versus the other side is like I
Far
don't
left.
think they're going to be quite as like just drop everything and put a bandana on and run outside. But they
Yeah.
are going to organize and tiki torch.
Yeah, they're gonna put their white hoods on.
But that's what I mean. Like I don't think it's like an
Take a week,
immediate
but
like
they'll be at it.
Wednesday morning they're all out.
Yeah.
Like that's
No,
not
for
that
sure.
team. Like that team is more let's organize behind the scenes and do something big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
you know
get
what?
some momentum so that when you see us coming, it's too
Yeah.
late.
I think the best, like you're totally right in the example of, like, I think it's Poland recently. Just they like made
Yeah.
it like that abortions are gonna be like outlawed
Yeah.
there, and it's like the minute that the gavel like hit the fucking
Oh,
table, and it's
Yeah.
like
everyone
It-
First
lost it.
fire was set.
the country shut down,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
protests, right? And again, it was like 4 straight days of like protesting, and now I think they've announced that they're gonna like undo that.
Yeah.
Abortions for some.
Yeah.
That's the fucking those aliens.
Miniature Polish flags for us.
For the rest of us. Yeah.
But yeah, you're totally
Can I-
right. Look, they're gonna have a Charlotte.
I have another ancient proverb from the one and only Homer Simpson, and it has to do. It's a distant cousin to the one you said before, and that is you don't make friends with salad.
No, you
Right.
don't.
It's true.
I think Lisa said. Oh no, it was Homer. To Lisa. Yeah.
And then he sang it.
Yeah, him
Yeah.
and Bart sang it. And
Yeah.
I believe a trash bin was turned upside down and played like a drum. ceremonial drum.
It's still good. It's still good.
I mean, I feel like Simpsons quotes, Homer Simpson quotes specifically, could be used way more often on a day-to-day basis as an adult, because as kids, that's all you ever heard. From the
Yeah.
ages of
Oh, yeah.
8 to 12, you could not go to school without hearing 12 fucking Simpsons quotes, and it was annoying, and like, shut the fuck up, all you dorks, you know? With the
Everything.
Simpsons shit. I love the Simpsons as much as the next guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, as an adult, I feel like it's lacking. You know, we've dropped the ball.
I feel like, though, with that said, like, I've been, like, you and I were sending a couple of different, like, there's some fucking Instagram account out there that does pretty funny fucking Simpsons. Most of them are really dumb, to be honest. I hate them a lot. Like, the
You're not
roommate-
into the shit posting thing?
the shit ones that they do.
I like those ones.
I hate them, where it's just like there was one the other day I saw where it was just like Lisa with like Bart in the fucking wagon, and it's like, Mom, Dad, like Bart's dead, and then the next scene is just like them sleeping and McGarnagle fucking eating a sandwich in the corner, just like, I'm trying to eat my sandwich.
Yeah. I like
And
that
it's
when
like
they combine.
a mishmash. Okay, I don't know. I just
They're
bugs
deep cuts when you combine two
They are
unrelated
deep
ones.
cuts, I'll give you that. But the last week they've just been doing like political, ones. And they've
Yeah.
been pretty good ones.
There's some that are really good. Yeah, like if 1 out of 10 are good, then it's like. But I think that's just like name of the game. They just throw shit at the wall until it makes the close resemblance to Jesus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're just throwing out there until something sticks.
But not only that, but it's like, you know how like they pre-write like celebrity obituaries. It's
What?
you never heard that?
What are you talking about?
Where like they pre-write, like if you're like an
Like
obituary.
as a joke?
No, as the like straight up, like we have Britney Spears' obituary
So
on file.
Like it's ready to go when she
On
dies.
file?
On
Is
file.
there a
ready to-
department of obituaries
Yeah. The obit.
in Hollywood? What is it? Are you serious?
Like
Are you serious
newspapers
right
and
I'm
stuff.
absolutely,
Yeah,
newspapers
definitely a
and
thing.
shit. Like online websites, yeah. So like it's you pre-write it, and then you just like when she dies, you add the blurb of like her fucking breast implant popped, and then she had an aneurysm
Yeah.
at the age of 36 or whatever, right?
now? Is that
But then the rest of it, where it's like, and then like in her first like video, like they give you like the eulogy
Yeah.
of the person too, right? So I feel like it's totally that. Like people just have these like saved, so many memes saved, and just like every day, just like here we go, like
Yeah,
take
live
the
return.
grave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and
I
that
mean,
being
Just
said, I
think
think we
about
need.
living a life like that, though.
Yeah.
You know?
I think
It's
we
the
need to
saddest
up our meme game again.
I don't know.
I don't. I'd
It's
say
so
like less
fun.
memes.
No, it's fun when you
pretty
make a
fun.
good one and you're like happy with it.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to spend any time doing it. I stand by that. You guys do what you want
Yeah,
to
but
do.
you never did it
Um,
anyway.
yeah, you
You
never
know, I
did it.
think
You
it's
never
fucking
experienced
lame.
joy.
Cuck shit. I hate joy.
You never
I hate
cried in a
happiness,
movie theater.
Wonderment, merriment. I fucking hate it. You know.
It's
I don't
pretty,
want to laugh.
I don't know.
Ever.
It sucks though when you totally make one and you put it up and then nobody likes it.
I mean, that's the nature of our account that has like 100 followers. Yeah, no one
I
fucking
feel
likes
like
it.
Yeah,
I threw up those fucking storyboards for Mitch Cuck Bitch, and like the first one got like a couple likes, and then the second one, like nobody fucking even like looked at it.
One of our buds commented like, "What the fuck?" Like question mark. Clearly does not listen to the show, but supports the Instagram. Is just so lost.
Thanks, Taylor. Thanks for posting. But
Yeah, funny.
I don't know. It's been a good it's been a good weekend here. Just the whole Trump thing, really like I don't know. Like we watched. It was funny. Like we watched the election night shit, and it was like the roommate was telling me about how the last time when Trump got elected the first time, she was at school, like in London, and she was like staying at this house that she was staying at, and they didn't have cable or internet, so it was one of these like she would go home at night and not have like she had to like pre-download shit and watch it,
Right.
or just read books, and like she was only like she'd stay there the night and then come home the next day. But she went to bed that night not knowing anything, and then like the next morning waking up and President like Trump had been elected,
Right.
kind of thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it was like, what the fuck? So this time around, she's like, I want to watch it. Like we're not missing it. And I'm like, if you want to watch it, we can. I'm gonna go get some beers, but also like, there's no sense in watching it at like 7:00. Like the polls don't close till 7. Like there's no sense in watching it early at all, right?
Yeah.
No.
She's like, okay, you're right. Like, we won't watch it till 9. And then so I go and get beers. I come home, and it's like 7:45, and she's just like, I gotta put it on. I gotta see what's happening. And it's like, okay, go for it. Put it on. And fucking Trump is winning 11-0 in electoral votes. And she fucking just like, oh my fucking god, like he's gonna fucking
Just
win.
skunked him, eh?
Yeah, like-
Skunked him right off the top.
Can you fucking believe this? Like freaking out. And I'm just like chuckling to myself because it's like this is why you don't watch it early. Like
Yeah.
there's
But
gonna
also,
be
I mean, all love and respect. At the end of the day, it's like this doesn't affect you though. Like
no.
I feel
No,
like
no.
that is like
I agree.
I have
World.
empathy
It
for
doesn't
those
affect the world.
people in the Americas. Yeah, but to be like so visibly
I know.
mad, like to get yourself to that emotional level over something you have no control over whatsoever, like that.
I
could be
totally
an
agree.
ish. It's a bit of an
I have
ish.
no
Listen, you're
force.
preaching to the choir here, dude.
Yeah,
Like
I
I got
feel-
mad today because my shoelace broke. Like I'm talking like the kind of mad
Yeah.
that like you've only ever seen your mom that mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it was over nothing. But when it comes to like the leader of the free world, I could care fucking less.
And
No.
I mean, are they the free? Like the world is like I don't know.
No, it's,
They are.
it's
They don't-
ironic
they are,
that
but it's
still
also,
refer to
like-
themselves as the free world.
Yeah, there's a lot of checks and
I see the
balances.
Philippines are way more Philippines are way
Self-proclaimed
more free than
leaders
America.
of the free world.
Yeah, I just
right?
mean like I feel like England and the UK have a lot of dick swing. Also, China. Like I don't know.
Everyone's swinging
Yeah, whatever.
dick, dude.
Yeah, but China's not part of the free world.
Aren't they?
China's pointing dick.
They kind of
China's
a
definitely
good
not part
setup.
of the
They
free
do
world.
whatever they want.
I heard a hot rumor that fucking President Putin's got a fucking disease that he just can't shake
Shit.
off.
Oh, hint, hint.
Hint,
Like-
hint.
Michael J. Fox
Like a
disease?
Michael J. shake
Yeah.
off.
Michael J. Fox disease.
Does he really?
That's a rumor I heard on the internet the other day
Uh-huh.
that
I mean,
he might be stepping
you're
down.
rich, if you're rich enough, it doesn't have to kill you, I guess, right? Like,
How about the fucking Muhammad Ali?
yeah, I mean, he made it. Yeah, dude, he also got hit in the head way more than Putin
Yeah.
ever did, guaranteed.
Parkinson's definitely rocked him harder than Frazier did. That's for certain.
He also claimed that it was
I think those
unrelated,
two
but
things
it
probably are
clearly
hand
was.
in hand, dude.
He,
Like,
he
The fun of
claimed.
his life was not the rumble in the jungle.
the thriller
Trembling.
in Manila.
No, it was the shake and bake.
Tremble in the kitchen. But yeah, Ali fucking rules, but he sweared up and down it was unrelated to head trauma, and it's like I don't think you have the like. I
Man,
don't
know
think
that
you
you're
can,
not
you
a
can call it.
scientist.
Yeah, and you
That's
also are
1974.
clearly
You're not a scientist.
suffering
you
from
know?
extreme
Sounds like
head
someone
trauma.
with brain trauma would
Yeah,
say.
someone with-
That's like asking some person at the dollar store what they think.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know anything, you know? There's no way you could know the answer to anything I have a question for unless it relates to this dollar store. And even then, I'm like, no, I'm not
So why are you going to the dollar store and like harassing?
Well, it's just like asking Muhammad Ali about anything science, brain, biological. It's like he's just not gonna know. Like
But
he's just not that guy.
brings up a really good point,
I don't
though.
know
like,
why he'd go to the dollar store either.
I mean,
You really don't go to the dollar store.
let's circle
These
back
little
to
umbrellas organic.
the dollar store. Is dollar store the only store in the world where the employees know as much about anything as you do? Like, if you ask anything, it's just like, I don't know, it's $1.
Yeah, they're not really working. They're kind of like supervising the store.
know.
Yeah.
You know, like babysitting.
Yeah, making sure you don't steal anything.
Like, is this white,
You know,
is
like-
this white out
Yeah,
organic?
they're all low end
I
security.
don't know. It's $1.
No. Yeah, that's the only store where the employees know less than
They
the
know
people.
less than you.
They're
They don't know
shocking.
anything.
Yeah.
You're better off just randomly asking some other customer.
I gave up on the dollar store when they changed it to the dollar store and got rid of the Byway name and all those other good names.
Mhm.
But when they started selling food, that was the end for me.
Right.
Like when there was a noticeable influx in the amount of food they had.
They
Like
have a lot
half
of
the
canned
stores
goods, yeah.
Now, half the stores now canned food. And it's like, dude, I get that there's a demographic that needs to shop there and it's sad, but it's, you know, it is what it is. It's still absolutely disgusting. And
Mm.
from my ivory tower, I'm never fucking eating that shit.
But you know what like makes me angry about that though is that it's like it's the same shit that's at fucking
Oh,
Zares.
totally.
It's like Chef
Oh,
Boyardee
it's the
at
dented
Zares
can.
is like $2.75, but at the dollar
Misprint
store
on the
$1.
label, dented can.
Right?
Yeah,
Like-
dollar store.
it's just so fucking irritating that it's like I'm like Mike, like I'm above buying groceries at
Oh my
the
god.
dollar store.
I wouldn't even buy a chocolate bar at the dollar store. I'm not putting anything in my mouth. Like,
I bought some
But,
underwear
like,
at it. I bought
it's
some underwear at the dollar
insulting.
store like recently.
underwear's fine.
I was
Wear
like,
one-
I was at
It's
like
probably
that.
got fucking shit stains already in it.
No, I was
Wear
like
one,
I was
throw it
working
away.
outside at that shitty like painting job, and my buddy messaged me, and she's like, "It's my birthday. Come to my thing tonight." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't bring a change of clothes." And she's like, "Just go to the dollar store and then come to my birthday party." And it was like, you can't argue with someone that says that. So yeah, I went to
Yeah.
the dollar store and bought some socks and underwear and a new T-shirt, and went to the birthday. Just changed in the car.
Cost you
Just like
$4.
yeah,
You
it
look
costs
like
under
you
$8
shopped at a
for a
gas
whole
station.
new birthday party outfit.
Yeah, it's stupid, but it's also hilarious.
Oh yeah, I think I'm wearing the dollar store underwear today. Like I still have them. Like they're perfectly good.
I've bought gloves there, like those little finger gloves when you need them,
Yeah.
and like I've bought the odd pair of socks. I don't think I've ever bought underwear. It is just a sad place.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh my god, yeah, no one's there because they want
I
to.
get that it's a needed resource, but it's so fucking sad.
This might be poor shaming, but I feel like every time I've been in the dollar store, the person ahead of me in line is paying in coins, and it's so fucking annoying.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, that's annoying no matter where you are. And
You
it's
know- you
honestly
know why?
what happens.
I remember-
It's a dollar store. Like you don't have a fucking.
Yeah. Half of Hamilton is the dollar store. Have you realized that?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
literally one on every corner. Like, there's no convenience stores. It's
Yeah.
just dollar stores everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's actually kind of smart though. Like,
Oh, it's hella
if you
smart.
can- if you
And I
sell
shop there like
cigarettes,
a motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie.
if you can,
But it's
if you can sell cigarettes out of your dollar store, then you're laughing.
yeah. You used to be able to get smokes at the dollar store. I
Yeah,
remember being a kid, and that was a thing.
I always think it's funny too. Like, I want to open like a dollar store, but then just like have regular prices.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's the
Yeah.
Not
Well,
much.
that's basically what it is now. Everything's
Yeah.
$5.99 at the dollar
yeah,
store.
right. Like
Yeah.
it's still you're gonna pay dollars for what's in the store. But I got you.
That's old stock from 10 years ago. It's like I can see the
Yeah.
sun damage on this
But like they fucking sell like bread and shit too. Like
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
like,
dude.
you know, like
Last year's
hot
bread.
dog buns, dinner roll.
They just put out last year's bread for Christmas when they and call it stuffing bread or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I never
Yeah.
understood that. Like, you ever see that stuffing bread? that they sell?
I've seen stuffing bread made before. I didn't know they sold a separate.
I've seen it made too. That's different. But when you go to the store, it is serious. Like it's that hard. Like you go and pick it up, like this one loaf of bread. I swear to God, it's 17 pounds. It's the heaviest bread you've ever, and it's dense, dude. Like if they took bread and fossilized it, it'd be this fucking stuffing shit. But anyways, long story short, that's dollar store bread in a nutshell.
And you don't want that shit.
No.
No.
You're stuffing a bird, maybe.
But even then, like you want to serve that to your guests, your family.
I value food so much that I am never eating anything from the dollar store ever again in my life.
No, and that's good.
I'm past it.
Yeah.
I'm not one of these anymore.
I gotta start looking out for me.
Yeah, shit. I don't even want to be in those fucking places. Like, I do as little fucking going into bullshit places as... Only place I go on a daily is the grocery store, and even that, is questionable.
Is this like choir practice? Because you're preaching.
Preaching, baby.
Bro, preaching to the choir. I've said this before. The best part about this COVID nonsense is the in and out mentality. There's no fucking dilly dallying. Looking at expiration dates on mustard.
Yeah, now there's absolutely no excuse for that. No, I bought moldy cheese the other day, dude. I didn't even notice it was moldy. I was in and out so quick. Not even kidding.
Wow.
Package must have been opened or whatever. It was the first one. I grabbed it, throw it in the cart, checking out, get home, go to put it in the fridge, and it's fucking moldy.
Wow.
Could you cut it off at least? Save
What are you
it?
talking about?
I got a fridge, dude. Are you kidding me? I built it this summer.
Cup, bitch.
Ice
My
box.
God.
Remember when I got that fridge? I got that free fridge.
How do you run it? What are you running it off of? Your Jenny?
Propane, baby.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Propane
it's
fridge.
a camp fridge.
Wow.
Holy
You don't remember having this conversation like 6 months ago?
I remember
Dude,
you ragging on everyone that buys all these cuck camping things, yet you have a camping fridge.
Yeah, it was free. Well, he wanted $60, and I went over there, and he was. I for sure talked about this on the show because I told you guys about his cool bus that he was building. The guy had this fancy bus.
All that stuff just goes in one
sure I
ear
didn't
with
tell
the
you?
other.
Okay, anyway, so I met this guy. He had an old van, and it was a camper van. He lived in it, but he had now converted this bus, or had started converting this bus into his living space, and it was rad. Like everything flipped out, fold out, like this would fold down, slide over, pop up, and it was like a, like his whole entertainment center was like fold into his wall, and then on the back side of that there'd be like clothes hang. Like, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
And this craziest setup I've ever seen. Rad, like Guatemalan dude, maybe. I want to say
culture.
some kind of like ambiguous Spanish.
Sure.
Like he was a super nice dude. Spelled Alex with like a C, I think.
Ugh.
The worst guy. And
Tucked his
anyway,
dick between his legs.
well, he might have.
I
He was
bet
wearing a
he
stripy shirt like RJ, and I know he liked it.
Stuck his nuts up his asshole.
Yeah, he might have. He might have just, been one of those types. But he was also the type to give shit away for free, because the fridge I went over to buy for $60, I knew it was going to be rough and it was going to need a little work, but in the ad it said it ran, so I was like, fucking right. So I went over there, I brought propane, because he said he didn't have any, and we tried to get it fired up for like an hour, give or take, pulled it out, tried to get it fired up all these different ways, wouldn't run, so he's like, well, just take it, and I was like, okay, because I knew, like, just a matter of a little bit of tinkering, right? If it did run, it'll run again. So I took it all apart and cleaned up all the fittings and shit.
Wow,
Tickety boo.
great story. Fucking cook.
Yeah. Is he gone?
His story stopped, and it was fucking exhilarating. Cleaning a goddamn fridge.
Pretty riveting stuff. Glad we decided to end on that. Well, I put some coolant in it, and
I took this garbage fridge home and figured I'd just tinker with it hours on end.
I was wearing my best van shirt that day, and I went and found an old fridge. Yeah.
Fucking
What a
coke.
piece of shit.
Well, I guess we'll wrap this one up. I guess shout out to Bike Thieves, their new album Leaking, available now on Stomp Records. You can get this podcast everywhere you get podcasts. Download, tell friends, do all that shit. Skyler, do you have any last words before the two of us, wrap this up?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
We can agree that van fridges are fucking cuck city.
yeah, I don't think I knew that story. And I feel like I've lost a little bit of respect. I think he's down to like back to being an 98%er.
Yeah.
It's not that. How what he thinks it is. And I mean, go Biden. Good for him.
Yeah.
Down with Trump. I'm glad I'm glad that we're getting back to maybe some, like, I feel like you kind of said it earlier, RJ, where it was like, I think shit just completely got out of hand.
Yeah.
And we were at a point in society where it was kind of like, you know what, like, America, you can elect Trump and it's gonna be fucked up for 4 years, but like, we tolerated it, and we, like, I don't know, the world sucks. It's a little bit shittier now than it was when he took over.
Yeah.
But then it's like, once the pandemic hit,
Yeah.
there was a legit, like, oh, okay, like, we're just too big for our britches kind of thing.
Right.
Like, we gotta stop fucking around, and it's like, this guy can't be here anymore. We gotta, like, we need America to start fucking making rational decisions.
Not having hundreds of thousands of new cases a day. Whatever
Yeah.
you're doing, yeah. Actually do something.
Like, here right now, we're at like 1,000 mark a day, and it's like, wow, this is kind of fucked again.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was fucked when we had like 600 cases a day, and like, do you imagine living somewhere where it's like 10,000 a day? Like,
Yeah, Florida, like 50,000, like, yeah.
anything goes in Florida. Yeah. So
Hey.
let's be, hopefully the next 4 years aren't so bad.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's wrap this guy up for this week. We'll see you all next week. Thanks for listening and telling people, yay, bye.
Yep, suck it.
So, okay.
Thanks everybody for tuning in this week. We are Pretty Much Experts. You can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. While you're at it, go have a look at our Facebook page. You can ask an expert any time of day or night, whatever you like. And if you're into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear from you, baby. Thanks again, everybody. Tune in next week. We are Pretty Much Experts, and we love you, I guess.